Hello everyone, and welcome to this Inbox 25 webinar. It is 1 p.m. here on the East Coast, and with that said, I'd like to thank you today for joining today's webinar. I'm James Verdi, and I'll be joined today by my colleague Alex Borak. We are both Senior Solution Architects here at Inbox 25, and we will be your hosts for today's webinar. So today we're going to be discussing in detail account-based marketing with SugarCRM integrated with Inbox 25. We'll be answering critical questions like what is account-based marketing, why is it important, and how can it effectively be utilized within SugarCRM. But before we jump into today's webinar, let's go over, as we usually do, a few brief housekeeping items. If you have any questions during the webinar, there will be a short Q&A at the end. So if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the GoToWebinar chat panel down below. Any questions that we don't get to, we will send in a follow-up email after the webinar has ended. And remember, this webinar is recorded along with our other webinars. We've done 5 so far, or this will be the 5th one in our Summer 2016 series. So far, we've done Social Marketing and Engagement 101, Drip Campaigns Made Easy with Inbox 25, Inbox 25 Timeline Intelligence Report for Sugar Agents, and Why We're Sweet on SugarCRM. All 4 of those, including our previous webinar series, are posted on YouTube at www.youtube.com/inbox25tube. So if you haven't had a chance to watch all 5 of these, or 4 of these rather, you can go ahead and watch them online. And finally, don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Inbox25. We do routinely upkeep on industry news, marketing automation, CRM news, as well as business updates and new releases coming to the system. So it's a great source of immediate information to learn everything up-to-date Inbox. So now that we have our general housekeeping out of the way, we come to the big question of the day, which is what is account-based marketing and why is it important? Account-based marketing, or ABM as some people call it, is the latest trend B2B marketers are flocking to get an edge in the MarTech landscape. So a little backstory, account-based marketing is not a recent phenomenon, but its emergence as a viable marketing strategy has recently left enterprise exclusivity and led to an increased adoption amongst the SMB market. As MarTech advancements like marketing automation platforms and CRMs, all of which we're using, they're now allowing marketers the ability to cohesively manage their various digital channels. Account-based marketing has really become the buzzword for enhanced MarTech adoption. So if we look at traditional B2B marketing channels, it maintains its focus on mass communication, really casting a wide net of content through various digital channels, with the goal of this being to attract interest from really kind of a broad sea of prospects. You have traditional inbound channels like content marketing, social marketing, PPC. It really feeds from the pool of many hoping to get a bite, hoping to get some interest into your company. With traditional B2B marketing reliant on bait, the flow of inbound leads remains a waiting game. Now, adversely, account-based marketing transforms digital communication into a highly targeted pool of the few, namely select group of accounts. Of course, account-based marketing. Now, account-based marketing is defined by its methodology of focusing not on the company as a single body, but viewing each account by the influencers and decision makers as the focus of communication. What this does is this puts the marketer in direct control of the prospects and type of personalized content that's injected into your marketing program. So the question now is, why use ABM? What's the benefit? In today's landscape, the complexities of a sales cycle should not be underestimated. And it's fairly common for multiple influencers to be involved in the decision-making process. Account-based marketing focuses on organizing key members of the buying decision into specified groups with the goal of then creating targeted and personalized messaging dependent on their role in the cycle. Account-based marketing represents the highest level of sales and marketing alignment. What you're doing is you're hyper-targeting and cherry-picking only the most ideal accounts to focus your limited time and resources on. As we've mentioned, traditional B2B marketing does rely on mass communication, often ignoring the multiple stakeholders involved in the process. Account-based marketing reverses this trend by aiming to touch all members or individual influencers within a company's sales cycle. It boils down to a comprehensive strategy that demands cohesion amongst your digital channels to be successful. Now, with account-based marketing, the pond from which you fish does shrink as you move away from mass communication and turn more into specific targeting around accounts that are most likely to become a customer. Account-based marketing represents a collective body working together. You have sales that provide the insight and intelligence into the attributes and engagements that best reflect your ideal prospect, and it's critical. It is critical for sales to be involved in formulating your account-based marketing strategy, while at the same time working collectively with marketing, who can provide the tools and the analytics to execute your account-based marketing strategy. What account-based marketing does is it organizes and improves a company's ability to effectively sell. With a heavier focus on account identification and qualification, the flow into your funnel may decrease, but the quality of accounts, the potential to sell, will increase. And with less than 1% of leads becoming customers, according to a Forrester research study, a shift towards relationship building and personalization is critical to maximizing your budgeting dollars. And finally, traditional content marketing and demand generation has become fairly saturated. On a daily basis, leads get inundated with marketing and advertising communication, with most of that communication going unnoticed. The shifting landscape does put marketers in a position of uncertainty, as marketing engagement, namely your opens and your clicks, are not really enough to generate revenue. A shift towards human dialogue and building relationships is critical in a decision-making process, as you want to touch each member individually. Account-based marketing is that approach by consolidating your marketing efforts into focusing on key players in your funnel. You want to draw attention to who you're interacting with rather than the quantity of engagements, because at the end of the day, people make the buying decision and not the statistics. Now let's talk about our approach to account-based marketing for SugarCRM. Why is SugarCRM ideal for an account-based marketing strategy? Well, as we know, SugarCRM does have a built-in hierarchy structure, starting as a lead, then eventually graduating to a contact once some kind of defined threshold is met. And if you're looking, quick plug here, if you're looking to learn more about that specific structure, our previous webinar, Why We're Sweet on SugarCRM, currently uploaded to our YouTube channel, will discuss that in more detail. But even more critical than SugarCRM's hierarchy structure is SugarCRM's native relationship between accounts and contacts. And this holds the key for account-based marketing. In most SugarCRM configurations, it's fairly common that your accounts module would represent the company you're conducting business with the individual members of that business, example, Director of Marketing, VP of Sales, the COO, will be created as contacts. And each contact would be linked to the parent account and managed through the account-contact relationship. Naturally, this relationship is ideal for account-based marketing, as by design, it allows organization of key influencers to be grouped under their corresponding company. The setup really cannot be more perfect. But what often happens is this powerful relationship goes unutilized, as the ability for third-party systems to integrate with it is lacking, to say the least, besides ours. At the end of the day, you have to think, what good is this dynamic and powerful relationship if you're unable to leverage it for marketing purposes? And as we've seen and spoke about, marketing and sales must collaborate to build a successful ABM strategy. So here's where we come in. As we've discussed, within the B2B space, it's very common for sales opportunities to involve several stakeholders, each of which require personal touch during the sales cycle. Account-based marketing then enables you to effectively market to an entire account with multiple contacts at once. So our design vision or goal for ABM for Sugar was to first preserve as much of the CRM data structure as possible in order to provide a seamless implementation and integration for our users. And a seamless implementation for us meant that our users would be able to maintain all of their existing accounts and contact relationships that are already created within Sugar. we're leveraging the native data structure. Now, beyond the critical task of ensuring the data model made sense, our next immediate goal was unified reporting that would give sales agents immediate access to marketing touchpoints across an entire company. In this case, a SugarCRM account from all stakeholders, in this case, a SugarCRM contact. So we have the account represents the company, and your individual stakeholders represent your contacts. And that data also needed to be easily accessible for every sales agent in Sugar, in their SugarCRM record view. And we'll get to that as we progress through the demo. Finally, we needed a simple yet effective path for both marketing and sales to construct targeted and personal campaigns that could be used to deploy across an entire account or select contacts based on any number of conditions, including things like behavior, life cycle stage, their specific role in the company, and much more. So here's the fantastic news with ABM. It's already built in. It's built into Sugar, and it's built into Inbox 25. The core function that makes Inbox 25 the best solution for ABM with Sugar is our native data integration methodology that links accounts, contacts, and opportunities together. Using SimSync, we mirror the native data structure within the CRM in order to maintain relationships between accounts, which are the parent of the company, and contacts, which represent the specific stakeholder, or in this case, the child, after they're imported into our platform. In effect, what this means is that your ABM program will directly resemble the account and contact structure, thereby avoiding the redundant task of configuring these relationships for proprietary marketing lists and then having to manually import them into a separate marketing platform, which is traditionally how it would be done. In this case, we're creating a cohesive body where your CRM talks to your marketing automation platform, and your marketing automation platform talks to your CRM. So let's look at the execution. How does this actually work in a real-world environment? With account-based marketing and SimSync, you can easily target SugarCRM contacts using data fields and objects that exist in the account record, in this case referring to the parent account or the company, which at the end of the day usually holds the tangible record data, the data needed for segmentation. So for example, let's use the example on the screen here. I can filter my SugarCRM contacts by leveraging an account custom data field, perhaps by the specific industry. So now I'd like to filter all contacts by their parent account being in the automotive industry. In addition, I would like to only interact with those contacts that have a SugarCRM opportunity currently open in the qualified sales stage for a value over $50,000. Not only am I leveraging the native SugarCRM account to contact relationship, but I am now tying in opportunity value as an additional indicator. And finally, I want to ensure I am speaking to the correct key influencer by filtering by those with a title of VP of Sales or VP. Remember this point as we progress through the slide deck, as this will come into a critical play later on. At the end of the day, it boils down to SugarCRM holds the data. So why would you let all of this data go to waste? This level of segmentation ensures you're maximizing your data potential found within your CRM. And account-based marketing with SugarCRM and Inbox 25 means no manual data input, no loss of critical data points, and no messy implementation. It's built directly for SugarCRM's data structure and ensures you can leverage all of the data to its fullest extent. Now let's talk about a practical view of how this looks inside of SugarCRM. What we're doing is we're creating one unified view. Tracking activity from your most valuable prospects and reporting their engagements in an easy-to-read format is critical for a marketing platform like ours, because that intelligence at the end of the day can be invaluable for your sales team, and fast access is critical and crucial to identifying sales-ready behavior. But the question now becomes, how can you effectively manage this volume of intelligence when you're spanning multiple contacts within a single company? With so many touch points, how can this possibly be executed? The answer is very simple. We use account-based marketing. With ABM, Inbox 25 will create a new cumulative timeline report at the account level that will include all activities and behaviors that are tracked from each individual contact. So displaying on screen here is an account level Inbox 25 timeline intelligence report embedded directly within SugarCRM. While at the account level, the timeline intelligence report will display all associated contacts, their assigned record owner, and their individual lead score. What this centralized frame allows users to do is to view not only the account as a whole, but easily analyze the specific contact and their engagements within my marketing program. I can now gain insight into each contact's level of interest and engagement, which then allows for better communication and transparency between marketing and sales. We're creating one unified view to manage not only the parent account, but every member under that parent account, every decision maker, every influencer under that account, from one view directly within SugarCRM. You don't even have to be in Inbox 25 to see this. This is embedded into Sugar. So now we take to reaching your audience and personalized content or targeted communication. Why do we want this? Well, as we know, and we've done a webinar on drip campaigns and the reasons why you want personalized content, but it is so critical to deploy the right content to the right contacts at the right time. This is critical to any outbound strategy, no matter if it's ABM or content marketing, no matter what that is. Having a cohesive strategy to drip content to your records is critical. With ABM, we enable you to seamlessly and quickly engage with specific contacts or all contacts at a company, depending on the subject matter of your content and strategy. And as you mentioned earlier, targeting contacts based on their role in the company or even data contained within the company account profile is a breeze. But the ability to identify key players in the buying process is only half the battle. You then have to tailor specific content around their role, which will aid in keeping them informed and engaged. So on this screen here, what you're seeing is the Inbox 25 Timeline Intelligence Report with the ability to add individual contacts under my account to drip campaigns. So take the example of a VP of sales. You may have a specific drip campaign targeted around their role in the buying process. They're concerned with the budget. They're concerned with how this will affect lines. You have a separate drip campaign associated with that, and you have something for the director of marketing. So you can seamlessly use one account view to manage every contact within it. So next we come to cumulative account lead scoring. Now within marketing automation, lead scoring can be a critical measurement of an opportunity's viability and engagement level. It can also inform your sales team on which accounts should be commanding the majority of their time and resources. There's only a certain amount of hours in the day to dedicate to accounts, so you want to make sure you're interacting with ones that are going to be worthwhile. But the challenge with typical lead scoring is that it grades individual contact records as opposed to the company account as a whole. With account-based marketing, we provide a company-wide lead score metric to provide an accurate assessment to an account's engagement based on the activities and behaviors of each related contact. So you can see on our screen here, we have the separate lead scores of all of our contacts, and we have a company-wide score, which is the cumulative effect of that lead score. Now keep in mind, the company lead score does not replace individual contact scores. It simply creates a cumulative value amongst all the stakeholders. So sales agents in Sugar will still be able to maintain insight to individual contact scores as well as the individual engagements they may be having. And that's all shown here on this timeline report. So we're showing you the best of both worlds. We're showing you not only the individual engagements, but how those individual engagements correlate to the account as a whole. And finally, we have some key steps to getting started. This is kind of going to sound a little bit redundant, at least our first point is, but as we mentioned, account-based marketing does utilize the accounts and contacts module within SugarCRM. And they are critical pieces to leveraging account-based marketing. The good part is, if you're using SugarCRM to begin with, managing your data via this native relationship of accounts and contacts is really fantastic for long-term organization and database health. So we do recommend having that structure put in place where your accounts represent the companies that you're interacting and doing business with, and the contacts represent the individual employees of that business. Number two, titles are critical. And this goes to a broader point of your marketing strategy is really only as successful as the data it's leveraging. Database management and upkeep is critical for a successful ABM strategy. When updating data in Sugar or creating data in Sugar, you want to be as specific as possible, as all of these touch points will directly influence the depth of your account-based marketing strategy. In this case, title is especially important as it allows you to denote key influencers and stakeholders, which really is your basis for account-based marketing. You want to be able to know the role of each person so you can tailor content around their specific role in the buying process. And finally, we're going to harp on this point in all our webinars, but content. Content is key to any successful marketing strategy. You want to provide beneficial and relevant content because truthfully without it, even the most well-rounded strategy or defined strategy will fall well short. So make sure the content that you're providing these stakeholders or these influencers has tangible benefit that would keep their interest and ensure long-term engagement, because you're building not only new clients, but you want to build sustained clients, long-term clients as well. So trying to keep everybody engaged and informed is really important. So that is going to sum it up for our slide deck today. I am now going to hand over the reins to my colleague Alex Borak to demonstrate some of the ideas and concepts we have discussed so far. So with that said, Alex, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you, James. Good afternoon again, everyone. Okay, so to demonstrate how account-based marketing can work inside of SugarCRM, I'm going to take the role of a sales agent. A sales agent of a boutique hotel and resorts chain where we specialize in company getaways all across the world, from Southeast Asia to Europe and South America. Now, I've just gotten an account assigned to me. And what I quickly need to identify is who is involved within this company, Inbox 25, what are their roles, as well as what has my company done with them in terms of interactions, as well as other behavior that each individual stakeholder has been completing or accruing as our team has been engaged with them. So right within SugarCRM, first of all, I'm able to view a very detailed data view of any and all calls that have been logged, any tasks. Of course, I'm able to see from the data view any contacts associated with the account, and I'm also see any potential opportunities. Now, if I want to gain a little bit more insight into the buyer behavior of each individual stakeholder, and just gain a little bit more in terms of data points as to what they're doing currently, I would click on the Inbox 25 timeline right within the account profile, which then automatically loads the Inbox 25 timeline report for this account. So, as a sales agent, the first thing I want to identify first and foremost is who are the individual stakeholders. So if I click on the Contacts tab, I'm able to see, okay, we have 3 stakeholders involved in addition to the account. We have a VP of Sales, a Director of Corporate Travel, and the Chief Information Officer. So right off the bat, without needing to navigate between several record profiles of SugarCRM or even separate modules of SugarCRM, I'm able to immediately identify who the decision maker in this process will be. Not only that, but I'm able to look at the individual lead score of each and every stakeholder within this company. I'm able to identify that the Director of Corporate Travel has been most engaged with not only our content, but other external behaviors such as visiting our website, converting and providing information via a lead capture form, or other implicit behaviors. Now that I've identified who the decision maker is, via the Manage console, I'm able to automatically enter the Chief Information Officer to an email drip campaign. Now, just to take a step back, this is just one option that I have the ability and I'm empowered to do as the sales agent. But I could very well include all contacts associated with this account into a drip campaign, whereby they'll receive the same content at the same time. I'm also able to include only the account record. And with this account, this has a general email inbox. So realistically speaking, if I were to include this account in a drip campaign, any member of the organization who I'm marketing and selling to, who is involved within this general inbox, will receive this communication. Thereby, the exposure of our content is being increased. However, I have a very personalized drip campaign tailored towards the decision maker of these company getaways. So I'm going to choose a specific contact, and I'm going to automatically enroll them in the drip campaign. Now, once individual contacts have been enrolled in a drip campaign, using the timeline report, specifically the timeline tab, I'm able to filter touch points, such as any opportunities or calls or other interactions that have been logged inside SugarCRM. I like to know if any of these contacts have gone through particular automated programs, or of course, just to confirm they've been enrolled in particular drip campaigns. I want to look at that site history, as well as any other additional communications that have been sent, as well as their response. Lastly, I want to know each and every time that our intuitive lead scoring system was applying a numerical value. So first of all, I apply these filters. Next, I can go ahead and I can filter by contact. I can toggle all and just look at all contacts, or I can filter between individual. So if I were to select the Chief Information Officer, Ron Holloway, the timeline report then immediately updates. From here, I'm now able to see, okay, we've had some call and opportunity interactions with Mr. Holloway. He has been entered into a drip campaign, and he has been sent an email, and I'm able to see that he's also been sent emails from our automated programs. Not only that, but I'm able to see that he's visited our website by accruing a score from our site and email activity scorecard. I'm also able to see that he's accrued points from various other scorecards under our customer journey qualification. All this right within one view. Now, under the Manage console, instead of enrolling Mr. Holloway into a drip campaign, maybe in another business case, there are an upcoming series of webinars. What I'm also able to do is, using the GoToWebinar integration, I have the ability of, once again, choosing all contacts, selecting specific contacts, or only including the parent record for a webinar. So in the account example, this is going to send an invite to anyone who's a part of that general inbox. Or if the webinar is gauged towards a specific role in the firm, i.e. the decision maker, once again, I now have the flexibility of choosing specific contacts to enroll in the webinar. In more of a support role, once again via the Manage console, I'm also able to generate a support ticket with our Zendesk integration. So as a support agent in Sugar, if I was to receive a call from Mr. Holloway mentioning a problem on our website, perhaps he was unable to complete his reservation or fill out a request for a quote for a company getaway, I'm able to take that information right over the phone and then populate that into a Zendesk ticket, assign it to a particular engineer, and personalize it, providing information directly from the account. I then have the option, once again, of submitting that ticket on behalf of all contacts, a specific contact, or the parent record. If I want to view any and all opportunities that are associated with contacts under the parent account, Selecting the Opportunities tab allows me to see each and every opportunity since the life of the contacts that have been associated with the account. Their sales stage, I can notice that there's been one opportunity in the past that was lost. We have an opportunity most recently that was closed. I can also see we have one more opportunity, the company getaway, that is slated to close next week. So, from this information as a sales agent, I now have the ability of making the informed decision to get on the phone with the contact associated with this opportunity, namely the Chief Information Officer, and close that deal. Lastly, as you can see, the company score reflects the total lead score of all contacts associated with this account. So, how do we go about and enabling account-based marketing with your very own Inbox 25 account? So via a single click sign-on, I'm going to enter my Inbox 25 account. And from here, since I'm going to begin utilizing the account-based marketing model, I'm going to head over to our Settings tab and go to Advanced Settings. From here, I'm going to head on over to the Data Management panel. And last but not least, I'm going to go ahead and enable account-based marketing and save my changes. Now, as James mentioned, with the native integration between contacts and accounts and opportunities with contacts associated with accounts, we're able to leverage that contact to account relationship for powerful automation that is going to segment contacts that meet specific criteria within the accounts module for specific automated programs. To demonstrate that, I'm going to head over to our SugarCRM dashboard utilizing our SimSync tool, which is going to manage the integration between Inbox 25 and SugarCRM, specifically the data flow. Within SimSync, I'm able to head on over to the Contacts module, and from this screen, not only am I shown an entire list of any and all contact data fields, stock as well as custom, but I'm also able to see any and all related account fields, stock as well as custom data fields. This is important to monitor because without enabling sync and checking data fields related to the accounts, I will not be able to run these powerful and segmented automated workflows. So I go ahead as the marketer and I select any and all account related fields that will pertain to any marketing approach I wish to configure. Once I'm finished, I click Save, which is now going to run a sync of Inbox 25 integrated with SugarCRM, which are now going to pull any and all of those account-related data fields from the Accounts module and now gives me the ability of leveraging that data for my contacts. Now, how does this look in automation? If I head on over to my Automation Manager via the Manage tab, I'm able to see any and all automated workflows that pertain to business logic, sales, or marketing processes. I have one workflow in particular, send technology industry special offer to decision makers. And you can see it's targeting my contacts. So what I'm essentially doing in this workflow as a marketer is I'm targeting an account-related field, specifically the industry field of technology. I also want to look at any contacts that have opportunities above 250,000. So I'm only targeting my enterprise level clients that are in the technology industry who have the title level of decision maker. As soon as they meet this criteria, they're going to receive an email communication with a special offer. And of course, after 24 hours, whomever does not open that communication, Inbox 25 is going to automatically generate a sales call for me, the sales agent, and also as the marketer, I'm segmenting the data into a targeted list of opportunities that are active in more of an enterprise situation. So if I go back to SugarCRM, how does this look? So once again, I'll go to the Inbox 25 account record. I'll get out of the timeline report and go to the data view. And I'll pick any contact. Well, let's use Mr. Ron Holloway again. Now within the data view of Mr. Ron Holloway, I can now see a special offer follow-up has been assigned to me as a sales rep. So all I need to do now is simply log that call and bring Mr. Holloway closer to the buying decision of getting their next great company getaway. So all in all, just to quickly recap how we were able to leverage account-based marketing with the Inbox 25 SugarCRM integration. As a sales rep, I was able to view at a macro level all the data points connected with an account or the parent, as well as the individual stakeholders or contacts associated with that account. From this view, I was able to quickly identify who the specific stakeholder was, who's going to be making that decision, and I was also able to look at vital touch and other event points, which were bringing them closer to the buying process, therefore giving me as a sales agent the insight to enroll them into a highly targeted drip campaign, which his sole goal is going to bring them even closer to that buying decision. Then, leveraging the powerful association between contacts and accounts, I was able to target any contact in SugarCRM associated with an account that is of a like mind, or in that particular situation, any contact associated with an account in the technology industry who was a decision maker. And then I was able to broaden my scope by marketing to all contacts of that like mind over various accounts. Last but not least, as the marketer, I was able to bring several touch points and several to-dos, i.e. calls, for my sales team once a particular contact was qualified, so that they have a targeted group of individuals to interact with first and take priority with those individuals first. So now we'll go into the question and answer portion of today's webinar. And I see that we have a few questions here.
All right, so let's see what we got here. First one is, can I leverage account-related fields if my contact is not associated with an account? No. Short answer is no. You will have to have your contacts associated with an account in order to leverage the account fields, because that native relationship will have to be there. There will have to be the contact related to the account in order to use the account to leverage. So they will need to be connected in that regard. You cannot just have a standalone contact. Can I, okay, and on the reverse, can I target accounts using contact-related fields? Unfortunately, no. Just given the native relationship in Sugar, this only works one way. So it's actually being able to leverage or segment contacts via account fields. It does not work vice versa. And in most circumstances, if not all circumstances, the account module is really where the tangible data for segmentation is held. It's more often than not held at the account level, at the contact level. Do I need to turn on accounts for ABM? Yes, as Alex just mentioned before, you will need to activate the accounts module in order for Inbox 25 to sync your SugarCRM accounts and create local copies of them in our system. So having that turned on as well as the contact module is critical in order for you guys to use account-based marketing. Here's a good question. Does this process, or does the account-based marketing work for leads associated with an account? No, unfortunately it does not. It would have to be a contact account relationship. That is the native built-in relationship with Sugar. So what you can normally do in most circumstances, if you have someone that's a lead, you can convert them to a contact and then have that be the relationship used to segment your database out. Usually, you can, a lead would represent someone that's new or prospecting. Once you find out their role with the company, what their process is in the decision-making or decision-making process, then from there you can graduate them to a contact and then utilize that information within your account-based marketing strategy. So just following the natural hierarchy of Sugar, moving from a lead to contact who's been more of a kind of qualified individual, and then using the account-based marketing process from there. Does account-based marketing take into account emails that I send from my personal inbox? It does not. The only criteria for emails that we interact with are going to be emails sent from Inbox 25. So we don't integrate directly with your internal mailbox. So it has to be something through Inbox 25 in order for us to pick up on it. Can I leverage custom account fields to segment contacts? Yes, of course, absolutely. As Alex pointed to just a little bit ago, you would want to go into your contact SimSync dashboard, and if Alex can go ahead and just maybe mouse over that, we can see where that is. That's where you'll find all of the account fields at the contact level, and what you'd simply do is just select them off, which ones you'd want to use to segment with. You check off those boxes here, run the sync, and then we'd automatically bring over those fields for you guys to leverage there. So as Alex has mentioned, you can see click on manual sync there, and that's going to bring you up with the two columns, and the right column here is going to show you the related account fields, which is what you choose to use for segmentation purposes with account-based marketing. Is there a cap limit on how many contacts can be associated with an account? No, you can have as many as you'd like. This is all Sugar data structure now, so Sugar may have some internal cap limit, but I don't think it would be attainable by any one human. So for all intents and purposes, no, you can have as many contacts associated with an account. We recommend that as well. You want to try and get as much information out of the account as possible, who the decision maker is, what are their roles with the company, and even if they're not key influencers, maybe they're a little lower level, you still want to have their information as well, because all of that will be beneficial for long-term organization and management. Let's see, I think if there's no more questions here, I think that just about does it. Alex and I would like to, of course, thank you for joining today's webinar. This will be recorded, or this is recorded, and will be placed on our YouTube channel later today for further viewing. This is the last of our summer webinar series, but of course we will be doing more as time progresses. So this has been Inbox 25. This has been James and Alex from Inbox 25. I'd like to thank you once again for joining today's webinar. If you have any questions, feel free to contact either Alex or myself. Our emails are james.verdi@inbox25.com. That's V-E-R-D-I. And Alex is alex.borak, B-O-R-A-C-K, @inbox25.com. So feel free to reach out to us in emails if you have any questions. And on that note, have a fantastic rest of the day and an enjoyable summer. Speak to you soon. Bye.